Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Napakaganda ng ating topic ngayon. I think this is the first time na pag-uusapan to ng ganitong kadetalyado. Anyway, pag-a-apply sa Canada ng merong criminal record. Yan. Ano ang gagawin mo? No? Kung meron kang criminal record, gusto mong mag-migrate sa Canada, does this mean, ano ba to? Automatic refusal ba agad yan? Well, apparently not. Okay, yan ang ating pag-uusapan. Kasama, bagong-bago sa In a Nutshell. Thank you so much. Yan, I'm so happy whenever I have a new face on the channel. Attorney Renz Grostre, immigration lawyer, Pilipino din po yan. Based naman this time in Ottawa. Thank you so much, Attorney Renz.
Salamat po, Ate Ina.
Naku, inati pa ako. Okay, so I'll show your first, no? Your law firm again. Naku, nawala na. Na-exit ko kanina. Ano ba yan? Pero Renz is based in Ottawa. And what do you specialize in ba? Yung firm? What type of cases?
So, we cannot do everything. Yeah, we cannot do everything besides refugee law. So, we do economic files, we do caregivers. Well, actually, mostly caregivers this time. Yung mga nawawala na ng mga papel, TRPs. Before kasi ako naging lawyer, when I was a law student, I was working with a firm in Montreal. They're doing criminal immigration. And that's what the first experience ko sa ganito, sa criminal inadmissibility.
I see.
So I do that. We have mga PFL. Yeah, we do that. Social fairness letters, misrepresentation. We do yung overage na bata.
Oh, all right.
Sila. Or we also do ito yung PFL ng criminal inadmissibility.
Okay, yan, magandang ang pag-usapan yan. So ito guys, ang kanyang law firm, you can visit his Facebook page, RCG Legal. Ayan, okay. Again, based in Ottawa. Thank you so much. O sige, let's get right to it, no, yung topic natin. Criminal inadmissibility in Canada. I'm sure marami ding nag-a-apply talaga for the different, kahit ano man, temporary visa or for PR, na merong criminal record in the Philippines. Pwedeng minor offense, etc. Pag ganun ba, ang tanong dyan, syempre, automatic marirefuse ba ang application ko pag ako ay may record? Lalo na diba humihingi sila ng clearance muna kapag ikaw ay nag-a-apply, kukunin mo yan sa NBI. Meron kang doon, kaso, naku, mag-apply pa ba ako o wag na lang dahil i-refuse ako?
Sagot dyan, siyempre, as a lawyer, depende, no? Ngayon, depende sa facts of the case. Pero ano ba titignan dyan? So, tingnan nyo yung nature of the offense. Serious ba siya? Or lang ba siya, minor, diba? Tingnan nyo din kung completed na yung, kunyari, if ever convicted, or you pleaded guilty, no? Na-complete mo ba yung sentence? Diba? Pero sa Pilipino kasi, sa Philippine community, or sa mga kliyente ko from the Philippines, most of the cases that I encounter, yung mga dismissal.
Alright. So, walang conviction.
Walang conviction.
Wala na-handle mo. Okay.
Pero paliwanag natin siguro yung batas. 36. It's you can find it sa 36 Section 36 ng IRPA. There's two things there. Yung serious criminality tsaka yung criminality. Serious criminality, anything na equivalent sa Canada na dapat 10 years or more, is considered serious criminality. Criminality siya, simple criminality kapag less than 10 years, no?
All right.
Now, for example, assault. Assault in Canada, assault is simple assault. Ano lang naman siya, less than 10 years in sa Canada, no? Pero if you hurt someone with an arm or you stab someone, diba? It became aggravated assault or assault with weapons.
All right.
So that becomes 10 years sa Canada. 10 years or 14 years pag aggravated assault. So depende sa nature niya, no?
Yeah, okay.
And then, kunyari, pag dismiss siya, hindi naman ibig sabihin na dismiss ay hindi mo na ginawa.
Okay.
Lalo na sa Pilipinas, meron din kasi sa Pilipinas kasi ano yan ang penal code natin, it's complainant driven. Na kapag wala na si complainant, wala nang kaso.
Yeah.
Sa Canada, hindi. Sa Canada, it's always nakalagay dun R versus the defendant, diba? It's the government, the crown versus yung defendant. So basically, kahit sabi ni complainant, okay ako na mag-complain, the case will go on.
Okay.
So yung difference kasi. So then, sa Pilipinas, sa mga naman nakikita ko yung dismissal of charges. So depende pa rin sa case. So for example, merong case doon si Urdas. Frustrated murder. So ang katumbas niya rito, aggravated assault.
Okay.
Parang something like that. Aggravated assault. Ang nangyari kasi, nagkaroon ng saksakan.
Sa bar, parang ito, nakwento sa akin ni Renz kanina yan
Parang more on nagkagulo yung magpipinsan, mga barkada. Tapos sumama si Kuya, no?
Oo.
So doon naman ang nangyari, the pinaka-central issue is, nagkaroon ng dismissal.
So, na-dismiss.
So ngayon, ang ina-argue ni Urdas, ina-argue niya na may dismissal, of course. So therefore, I'm not criminally inadmissible.
Yeah, hindi naman ako na-convict
Oo. So ngayon,
weird.
Pero kung titignan mo yung sa baba ng 36, section 36, 36.1c and 36.2c, ang nakalagay kasi doon, commission.
Okay. Ginawa mo. As long as yung commission doon, there's a reasonable grounds to believe that you committed the crime. Kahit wala pang dismissal, walang conviction, walang anything. Basta you committed something, you're barred from Canada for criminal inadmissibility. I see.
So ngayon, ang nangyari sa kanya, nagkaroon ng settlement, binayaran yung complainant, the complainant in return signed an affidavit of desistance saying that I don't know kung si Urdas ba talaga ang sumaksak sa akin or part siya noon.
Okay. So may chance pa rin, parang gano'n ang sinasabi mo.
Exactly. Kasi sa criminal case kasi, beyond reasonable doubt. So that's enough to tanggal, nasabihin na, okay, hindi acquitted magiging acquitted, pag nag-proceed yung trial, acquitted tong tao na to.
Yeah.
So, or wala ng probable cause kasi wala na yung complainant. Hindi na sinabi na, hindi ko alam kung kasama siya to.
Yeah.
Pero doon kasi sa court documents na nakalagay na doon na si Urdas was involved. Based doon sa police report. So ngayon, kahit nagkaroon ng settlement, na-refuse pa rin siya.
Yun. So na-refuse si Urda. Now, ang sinasabi ni Renz, guys, sa kaso ni Urda, talagang umabot sa babalik dun sa police report, police records. I assume it reached sa court kasi, siguro may judicial review na nangyari. Ganun bang...
nagpunta ng judicial review.
Oo.
Yeah.
But Renz is gonna share with us a different case na similar yung offense, pero hindi siya na-refuse, right? Yeah. So it really is case-to-case, Yung,
it's case-to-case. So parang siya, almost the same case niya si Garcia. But in that, sa Urdas kasi frustrated murder, di ba? Like, saksakan talaga yun, aggravated assault. Almost I'm not sure about the equivalency, pero from what I remember. Pero kay Garcia naman, siya, assault with bodily harm.
Assault with bodily harm, okay.
So parang nagsapakan kayo, tapos grabe yung naging
Injury.
Okay. So bar fight siya. In this context, the same thing, almost the same thing lang din. Caregiver program. Ito very important, I mentioned to you earlier, sa'yo kanina. Dito, permanent residency application.
Okay.
Ang principal applicant ay si caregiver. In both cases. Tapos, ang nangyari, yung asawa nila, may mga kaso, may mga criminal records. So, kasi kahit hindi ikaw ang gumawa, as per Section 42 ng IRPA, criminally inadmissible ka na rin kung one member of your family is found inadmissible.
Nako, oo.
Kahit accompanying yan or non-accompanying.
Oh, kahit non-accompanying.
Kahit non-accompanying.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, yun yung case ng dalawa, Garcia and Ordaz. Pero kay Garcia kasi, ano siya, bar fight, tapos, meron siyang self-defense claim.
Okay.
Tapos dun sa, affidavit of desistance, so nagkaroon ng settlement. Ang naka-state na sinabi ni, sa affidavit of desistance ni complainant, I admit na kami ang may kasalanan.
Okay.
So yung pinagkaiba, no?
Umamin yung nabugbog. Umamin yung
nabugbog na sila ang nanggulpe ng una. Kumbaga, nag-self-defense lang yung si Garcia. So yung pinagkaiba, no? So dapat titignan nyo pa rin yung facts of the case, kung sa criminal record, sa police record, tingnan mo yan. Tingnan mo yung court, yung sa korte, tingnan mo din.
Yeah.
Tingnan mo din yung, ano ba hinihingi dyan yan? Statement mo, court documents, police records. Kung may mga medical record ka, pwede rin yan.
Yeah.
Pag drug case yan, bigay ka rin ng like negative test ng drug test mo, dapat negative.
Alright. Let's just clarify. Yung Garcia approved, okay? Yung kanyang PR. Oo. So you see guys the difference, both dismissed fairly similar offenses. Yung isa na refuse, yung isa na approved. Ito namang sinasabi mo ngayon na Renz, na kung ano yung pwede nilang i-prepare, if they are to defend their record. At what point in an immigration application process are these things usually prepared? Ano ba to? Pag-apply pa lang ba, attach ko na yan? Kasi alam mo yung gusto ko maging prepared, or do you wait for a PFL, or do you wait until sa court na kung dumating ka sa judicial review?
Of course, as a lawyer, no? Ang gusto mo, the ideal situation is, kung alam mo sa sarili mo na meron kang criminal charges before, prepare mo na ngayon pa lang.
First filing pa lang talaga.
First. Kasi sa form niyan, so for example, 1295, work permit form. Page 4 nun, may nakalagay doon sa background. Have you ever been arrested, charged, di ba? Or convicted of a crime, criminal offense? Ang nakalagay in Canada or any other country nakalagay. Ang problema kasi sa form na yun, sa question na yun, compound sentence, no?
Tsaka it covers everything. Madaming possibilities.
So, most of the time, people who are not used to mga ganong forms, they just read first word, middle, and last. Nakakita ako, conviction. Wala akong conviction.
Wala conviction. No na agad yun. Kahit meron kang kaso na na-dismiss.
Meron kang kaso, di ba? Kaya dismiss charge. Yung charges ko naman, dismiss Di ba? O yung arrest ko, hindi naman siya nag-amount sa sa filing of complaint.
Okay.
The officer wants to know kung criminally inadmissible ka. Pag nino mo kasi yun, there's two things that will make you inadmissible sa Canada. So one, siyempre nag-know ka, so misrepresentation yun. Second, kahit maglumipas na yung 5 years, diba, ang misrepresentation ban for 5 years. Kahit lumipas yun, criminally inadmissible ka naman.
I see. Okay.
Diba? So, ngayon, maganda kung may ganun kayo, ask for a lawyer right away. And someone who knows yung criminal law sa Canada.
Kasi you're gonna have to check that box, basically, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes, you have to. And then, as much as possible, pag alam mo na sa sarili mo, you're honest to yourself na meron kang charges, gather all the evidence, and then draft ka ng affidavit mo, like chronological order, lahat. And then, as a lawyer na talaga, immigration lawyer with criminal background.
Okay.
So para, sa umpisa pa lang, mapakita mo na. So nag-know ka na dyan. Kasi ang nakalagay doon, sa sa IRCC guideline, ang nakalagay, if you have, sa NBI certificate nyo, may mga remarks yan, di ba? Pag may remarks doon, no criminal record, no pending case, record as stated, those are red flags.
Why would it be a red flag? Parang cleared nga ang dating di ba? Oo, para malinis.
It's confusing na.
Oo nga, bakit ganun?
Ang green flag is no derogatory record.
Oh, no derogatory record. Wow,
ayun ang green flag. Not necessarily naman ang nakalagay dito na no record ay may kaso ka na no? Kasi sometimes the NBI officer will just put no criminal record. Sometimes there are some glitches, no? Or sometimes yung record mo matagal na, and the time that you requested, wala silang mahanap.
I see.
So gano'n, no? Pero to the eyes of the officer, pag may gano'n ka, no criminal record, no pending case, record as stated, dapat ma-alarma ka na, ask yourself, meron ba akong kaso sa barangay?
Oo.
Kaso sa barangay, kunyari, nung bata ka, 18 anyos ka, nakapagrambulan ka, no? May blotter sa'yo sa barangay. Hindi mo alam kung yung blotter na yon umakyat hanggang doon sa korte.
I see. Oo nga, ang daming mga blotter ang pwedeng mangyari, no?
Exactly. So, tignan mo, be honest with yourself. Remember mo talaga. O meron naman yan, may mga case dyan, yung case ni Rad versus Canada. Sa case naman na yon, Pilipinas din yon, bouncing checks.
Nako, marami din ganyan siguro.
Di ba? So parang if you think about it, parang hindi man harmful.
Oo, tapos baka naman eventually, na-resolve mo na rin yun, di ba?
Exactly.
Oo.
Pero ang nangyari dun kay Red kasi, sa bangko, nag-issue siya na ng cheque, tumalbog multiple times. So ngayon, sa Pilipinas, pag tumalbog na yun multiple times, tapos hindi ka na mahanap, si bangko or yung company, dito company yung company magpa-file ng complaint sa'yo, criminal case.
Oo, tama.
So sa Canada, may criminal offense yun, nakatumbas.
I see.
So, mga ganun like mga simple cases na sa tingin ng tao, parang, hindi naman siya harmful.
But you have to, siguro this is just also to tell those na may ganyang sitwasyon, don't worry because there is a way to move forward with it, to explain why you should still be, approved.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
So, depende naman sa sa file. So, kunyari, dumating sa akin yung file. Sa amin kasi may intake form kami and we're very careful with criminal inadmissibility. Pag nakita na namin na for example, caregiver case, tinanong namin, si asawa mo ba may ganitong kaso? Sabi ako, may kaso po yan. So bago kami mag-apply ng caregiver program, sabi ko na sa kanya, okay, kompletuhin niyo yung sentence and make sure na mas mayroon sa case na to, nakompleto na yung na-dismiss yung charge, right? So gather all the documents. Kung makita natin na may reasonable grounds to believe they committed the crime, then ang gagawin natin, ask tayo ng criminal rehabilitation.
Yan. And I think this criminal rehabilitation, would it also work for somebody with a conviction?
Yes. Of course.
Oo. Tinan mo, kahit may conviction ka, depende case to case yan. It happens na ma-approve ka pa din. Ano yung rehabilitation na yan?
So, usually, ang permanent solution dito, so may two other ways to overcome this. Pero yung permanent solution is criminal rehabilitation. So, ibig sabihin na, for example, for example, si Urdas. Ang pwede nyo nang gawin, mag-criminal rehabilitation na siya. So, ang nakalagay kasi doon, after 10 years, after 10 years, pwede ka na mag-apply ng criminal rehabilitation. So, papakita mo doon, you completed the sentence if you're convicted, or kung dismissed, pakita mo na you paid yung settlement, no? So that's one, completion of sentence or completion of whatever is the agreement sa settlement. So yun yung yung pagbabatayan mo kung tapos na ba yung 10 years.
10 years talaga ang peer. Ang tagal din pala, no?
Depende sa sa sentence.
All right.
Nakatumbas sa so kung serious criminality 10 years. Pag criminality lang 5 years.
I see. So again, it depends, no?
So depende sa nature ng offense.
Yeah. How about, Renz, I'm curious, yung mga talagang minor offenses like a traffic violation, nalalaman ba yan ng IRCC? Is there a way?
Yes, I had a file like that. Parang ang nangyari, nagkabungguan sila. Tapos yung complainant, parang talaga vindictive.
Oh, naku po. Okay.
So, akala ni client, na-settle na nila sa pa lang. Sa
insurance.
Oo. Sa police, pinapulis siya.
Police, okay.
Pinapulis siya. Akala niya, okay na, kasi nagbayad na, ng danyos, ganyan. Tapos, later on, nung naglipat siya ng bahay, so hindi niya na alam na dumadating pala yung mga subpina. So, ngayon, ang nangyari, kinasuhan pala siya.
I see.
Umakyat pala doon sa, sa korte.
Oo.
So, ngayon, ang nangyari sa file, kahit traffic violation siya, ang ginawang case ng police, yung parang dangerous driving.
Oh, so parang mas mataas.
Driving with imprudence, ang gano'n. Which parang mas mataas. Dahil ang ginawa namin doon, study permit file yun. So, nag-yes siya doon. Then pinakita, nag-no siya doon sa have you ever been...
Yeah, kasi hindi niya alam.
Charged. Hindi niya alam. Kasi alam niya, pagkakaalam niya, settled na. No?
Oh, yeah, nga pala. Okay.
Akala niya settled na, nagkabayaran na. And also, it's a traffic violation.
Oo nga.
One lang, di ba? Also, hindi naman siya lawyer. Pero ang nakalagay kasi doon, driving with imprudence, reckless imprudence ang nakalagay. Tapos pag tinignan mo sa Criminal Code ng Canada, dangerous driving. So ngayon, ang ginawa namin, so naka-receive siya ng PFL, Procedural Fairness Letter. So may doon. So one concern is yung criminal inadmissibility. Pero as precaution, we also made arguments on misrepresentation.
Oh, all right.
So ngayon, ang ginawa namin, the first argument that you will say, sasabihin mo, no, they're not criminally inadmissible. So ngayon, ang gagawin mo dyan, the way you argue is, compare mo yung words ng Penal Code sa Criminal Code ng Canada.
Oh, wow. What?
Revised Penal Code ng Philippines, compare mo yung section na yun doon sa Criminal Code ng Canada. Kung ang wording is not the same, then you're off the hook. Or if kung similar yung wording, and the second step is assess mo if the elements in Canada, given the facts of the case, will amount to a criminal offense.
I see.
So ngayon, nandito ang ginawa namin, ang argument is, hindi naman siya ang may problema. Ang may problema, yung matanda. Yung complainant. Kasi siya yung, based on the facts, siya naman talaga yung ang wrong way. So,
in these types of things talaga, Renz, no? I think, in these cases, mas mabuti yata talaga na meron kang immigration lawyer to help you out. It's quite difficult to do it by yourself.
On your own, no. It's very hard kasi you have to look at yung criminal code in Canada. Yeah. So, just summarize ko lang kasi meron pa isang solution na pwede mong gawin.
Oh, okay, go.
So, first, yung legal opinion na tinatawag. So, sa legal opinion, you say, okay, this person did not commit the crime, no? So, ipaliwanag mo yun. Or, kunyari, deemed rehabilitated. So, yung deemed rehabilitated naman, you don't have to apply for any application. Basta yung crime mo ay not 10 years na pag serious criminality. And then 1 indictable offense lang.
I see. Okay.
Papaliwanag mo lang yan. Or pwede mo sabihin, kunyari, discharge. ka, di ba? Paliwanag mo na hindi mo kinumit yung crime. So that's one legal opinion ang tawag doon. Or sa procedural fairness letter, you provide your legal opinion yung ng lawyer. And then the other one, kunyari, kung hindi makukuha ng legal opinion, and then you want to temporarily enter Canada, you apply for temporary resident permit.
Okay.
And that allows you to enter Canada kahit may criminal record ka. So doon naman, ano ba pagbabasihan nun? May compelling need ba?
For you to be in Canada?
For you to be in Canada. For example, ikaw si sabihin natin para relatable. Kunyari, ikaw si Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
Snoop Dogg, like most likely, Snoop Dogg had a lot of criminal offenses sa US. Kunyari, possession of arms or possession of drugs, mga ganyan. Pero si Snoop Dogg, may concert.
May concert. Kailangan yan.
May compelling need. Diba? So, papaliwanag mo na, okay, may economic benefit pag andito si Snoop Dogg. Kasi papakita mo na, si Snoop Dogg may charity.
Yeah.
O rehabilitated na siya. Ganun.
But for ordinary people, Renz, what could be those types of reasons? Like, family here? Pwede ba yun? Asawa mo nandito?
Purpose of travel, yan. Pero yan, family reunification or visit. Kunyari, dying yung parents mo.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Someone, no? So, hindi lang siya yung parang simple for tourist purposes.
Yeah.
Or for tourist purposes, yes. May mga nakakalusot. I've done a lot of files na ganyan when I was working for the law firm while I was a student. Ayun, pero mo naman, depende, no? Like, kunyari, kapag tourism yan, highlight mo, okay, punta ka ng ganito, punta ng ganyan. I'll spend ng ganitong money.
Oh, wow, talaga yung parang economic contribution.
Oo, i-detalye mo yun. Tapos, babawi ka ngayon sa rehabilitation. So, kunyari, illegal possession of marijuana. Or marijuana sa Canada, okay na yun.
Oo.
Well, depende sa sa amount. Sa timbang ng pero kunyari, siguro maganda, assault, for example. So, simple assault lang. Tulakan, ganyan, or sampal mo, na-file ng case. Tapos, dismiss, for example. Kung convicted ka, for example, nag-spend ka ng convicted kasi pag nag-plead ka ng guilty, conviction pa rin yun, diba? Pag nag-plead ka ng guilty, looks good.
Okay.
Kasi, inaamin mo.
Oh, I see. May ganun pala.
Or, for example, pag nag-plead ka kasi ng guilty dyan, meron yung plea bargain agreement. Diba, so ngayon, kunyari, assault, most likely, community service. Tapos sasabihin niya may probation ka, bawal kang lumabas ng bahay or bawal kang lumabas ng city mo. Ayun, may mga ganun bawal kang uminom. So, pakita mo yun na
ginawa mo. Yeah.
No? Pakita mo din na good citizen ka, volunteered, diba? Top student. After nung kaso, parang you made it, you became a dad, diba?
Yeah.
Parang gano'n. Or kunyari,
bagong buhay ka na.
So kunyari, DUI, driving under influence. So bago ka pa bigyan ng sentence, nagpa-rehab ka na.
I see.
Diba? Or nagpunta ka na nag-community service ka na. So it showed na voluntary, nag-voluntary completion ka ng mga potential na sentence mo. Yan.
Okay. May ganun may mga ganung paraan talaga.
Yeah.
So, and I think it happens more than we know. Kasi hindi masyado na pag-uusapan to, no?
Hindi masyado na pag-uusapan. Kumbaga, pumupunta na lang ang client after the fact. Procedural fairness na sila, letter na sila, or mga ganun. So, dapat, you have to plan ahead. So, for example, caregiver ka, o may fiancé ka sa Pilipinas.
Nako, gusto ko to.
Alam mo na mayroon siyang dismissed charges, kunyari assault ganyan, or possession of illegal drugs, di ba? Nag-plead siya ng guilty, no? So ang tanong doon, kailan ako magpapakasal?
Oo. Kasi madadamay ka di ba?
Oo. Yung Section 42, di ba? Remember, pag ikaw kinasal doon, bago ka ma-PR, damay ka. So, potential pag hanggat hindi pa, wala pang criminal rehabilitation, si spouse mo, hindi ka pa rin ma-PR. Or pwede mo naman gawin doon, humanitarian and compassionate grounds. Pero, very hard to argue, no?
Mm-hmm.
So, ang dapat mong gawin doon, hintay mo yung PR bago ka magpakasal. So, para at least ikaw
and
safe.
then sponsor mo. Pero, matagal pa. Ano ba yun? Do you advise na i-serve muna nung...
Depende sa... Okay, pag conviction, serve mo muna yung sentence.
Bagal. Naku, bagong kasal pa naman rin, siyang maghihintay pa rin pala.
So, kunyari, simple assault. Like, assault lang karamihan dyan eh. Assault or... kunyari assault. So, simple assault lang. So, 5 year. Parang ano lang yung sa Canada eh. Less than 10 years. So, simple criminality. Wait ka na 5 years after completion of the sentence. Then, deemed rehabilitated yun. Diba?
I see.
Pero kung multiple offenses naman siya, you apply for criminal rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm.
Yan. Pero kung gusto niya magbisita, kaya kung gusto magbisita ni spouse, apply siya ng TRP.
I see. Yung merong reason to come and visit.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, sige Renz, I'm sorry. Ika-cut short ko na to. But I think we can go on and on dahil ang daming scenarios na possible.
Madaming scenarios.
Yeah. But I think we got the idea, no? At least for our viewers, that don't be afraid if you have a criminal record, there are ways to go around it to avoid a refusal. Of course, nothing is guaranteed. But, if you consult somebody na maalam sa batas ng Canada, immigration,
yeah. Like, ang pinaka-advice ko sa mga kliyente, be honest sa sarili mo. Diba?
Yeah.
Kahit anong arrest, basta may nagkaso sa'yo, be careful na, diba? Like, basta tignan mo kung meron ka bang kaso.
Yeah.
Sa korte. Then, go to a professional.
Yeah. Okay. So we will end this discussion here. For now, Renz, I think willing naman yata sana si Renz guest ulit dito sa atin. I hope so. But for now, ayun, sige, I will show his ito yung Facebook page ng RCG Legal. If you have more questions, ay mag-book na lang kayo ng consult with Renz, lalo na kung affected kayo dito sa ating topic, di ba? All right, Renz, thank you so much.
Salamat, Ate Ina.
Huwag mo kong i-ate, talaga na nga naman. Okay, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you again, Renz. Bye!